Alright, welcome back everyone. You are watching Vanquish Gaming Day 2 of our 2v2 Gold Tournament. Our next matchup is lower brackets, finishing up a little bit of the lower bracket play that we saw yesterday before we head into semifinals. And here you will see our only double Zerg team, Inukshuq and Magus, versus hslice and Crump. We have not seen any casts yet with Inukshuq and Magus, so this will be a new treat for everyone who's watching. But it should be quite a show, as we have a double Zerg team, the only one in the tournament, and obviously this poses a lot of advantages and disadvantages, but we'll have to see which ones play out, as they so far have had mixed results with their team composition, as had hslice and Crump, a Terran and a Protoss team as well. hslice being one of only 3 Terran players in the entire tournament, so making him a little bit unique. And hopefully very vital in case we ever see some mutaplay here, and let's be honest, with 2 Zergs, some mutaplay is almost guaranteed. So let's take a look and see what happens. Starting in the south position, we have obviously our double Zerg team, Magus as the green Zerg and Inukshuq as the light blue, and then we have hslice as the red Terran and his neighbor Crump as the orange Protoss. And as we start off here, we just see some basic scouting. We see Magus and Inukshuq both sending drones out. A little curious on what they're going to scout, since this is a shared base map here on Discord. There's not really a huge benefit to having 2 scouts on a shared base, since one scout can very easily scout out both bases here. We see some interesting positioning here by hslice with the supply depot. It doesn't look like he's going to even try to wall off, but he is building it very far away from his base. Meanwhile, back at the Zerg bases here, we see Inukshuq has went ahead and dropped the pull down, as has Magus, and we'll have to see if that's going to turn into some early Ling harass, or if it's just going to, you know, become a little bit of a tech up and a macro. We haven't seen any expansions come yet for either of the Zerg. We see here a little bit of worker play as they go back and forth, down to half health on Magus's nicely hot routed, very interesting constellation of scouting attempts here. And Crump very responsibly chasing that unit around, making sure that he gets out as soon as possible. Gateway almost finished for Crump. Meanwhile, back at the Zerg bases, we see both spawning pools starting to finish, and a gas going down for both. Meanwhile, hslice is pretty much just trying to work her up. It looks like he is falling behind, though, with only 11 workers compared to everyone else at 15 and 16. We're going to want to see him try to build some more up. See a gateway going down, very typical Protoss build, very easily allowing a transition to Stalkers or Zealots. We see, once again, another supply depot going down, another barracks, or I'm sorry, the first barracks, and an interesting location here by hslice, putting this all the way up here. It's far enough away from the ramp, but kind of like almost bolstering Crump's position, meanwhile leaving his base very much fending for itself. He's not making any workers, though, as he's holding it just 11 workers here. Very, very questionable that he's going with such a low worker count. Meanwhile, Magus is taking advantage of the seeming lack of aggression from hslice and Crump and going for an expand. He neglected to go for the natural here, which is probably what would be scouted the easiest, and instead has decided to go for a more further away base, but maybe a less scoutable base, as we really haven't seen any scouting attempt from hslice or Crump. And we see a tech lab going down for hslice. It could mean some early Reaper attack, but in all honesty, with only 11 workers, even this mule is really not going to be enough to allow him to keep up. He really needs to put out some more workers. We see a lot queued up now, so it may be him realizing that, hey, I need some more workers here if I'm going to keep up. See Crump hitting 23 workers, by far out macroing everybody else on the map. We see nice Overlord placement all around the map, protecting against any kind of warp-ins or any kind of sneak attacks. It's a little early for any of those, but always best to be prepared. Good decision making there with the scouting. We see a nice Roach and a couple of Zerglings. It looks like those are just going to be Xel'Naga Zerglings, as they're not speed upgraded at all and doesn't really look like they're heavily invested yet. We see a nice little pooling going on here with a Baneling nest coming up. The Baneling's definitely designed to deal with a mass marine threat, and Inukshuq is massing up some roaches here. It looks like he's going to try to roll up. I don't know if he'll try to attack by himself. He could somehow probably even successfully pull off an attack, considering that there really isn't a lot of units here. And it looks like hslice has finally decided that I'm just going to go ahead and move this wall over here and do my best to wall in. Unfortunately, these pylons kind of ruining the attempt here. See a nice little mass up outside of the natural here. See banelings going into effect. I don't know if they realize that this wall's been moved here. I don't believe they do. So they will be met by a wall they're not expecting to get. So this may be banelings that are designed to run into a mineral line. See a few more roaches coming up to meet up with the attack party here. And we see Crump also building a proxy pylon on this side. It doesn't look like they've seen it. Now these banelings are not speed upgraded, so oh no, and Magus just realized, uh-oh, that wasn't there before. What am I going to do? So now they have a choice. They can try to brute force this. They definitely have more than enough units to overwhelm Crump and hslice, but that wall is definitely going to buy them some time. And oh no, hslice, it's almost like he's a double agent, and he just opened the door for them. And he did. He opened the door and he just let them run right in. And there we go. Just horrible timing on hslice's part. You see all these roaches just running in here. These zerglings making quick work of these stalkers. And oh, this is looking very bad very quickly as they have just completely run through here. And all these workers that he worked so hard to get after running behind on economy is going to go down. He's going to lose everything. It looks like he may be able to airlift this command center out, but this is going to be a huge economic hit. Magus not wasting any time going for the other workers on the other side to get Crump, and Crump conceding the GG. Just horrible timing early on with I don't even know what kind of attempt that was at walling, and then raising that barracks up at the last second there, just completely giving them full reign in. And game 1 goes to Inukshuq and Magus. This is the best of 3 series. We'll have to see if Crump and hslice can bounce back. But a very shocking turn of events there at the end of that game. Definitely some conversation going on that team. Stay tuned as we'll bring game 2 shortly.